What's happening, and welcome to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Out here about to get started working on the 1940s Chevy trailer that I got here that I pulled out of the woods. Been sitting here for a little bit. The weather has not really been cooperating the last few weeks, so I haven't really gotten anything done on it. We're going to jump into it now, and my plan just to start off is to get this thing disassembled, get these sides and fenders off of it, just so one, we can really take a look at the shape that these fenders and all the body pieces are in, and then also you can take a look at the frame and the condition the frame's in and the axle as well. So that's the plan right now, and probably just get started on this side over here, just because it's already, you know, most of the way off for me, so it'll be the first easiest thing to get done. So I'm gonna grab some tools and get started. Let's see if we can get these up. We'll probably just break them, really. That's what'll most likely happen. Well, that one broke loose right there. All right, first one loose. That's too big. Well, that one's moving. Ah, got a nut on the inside of there. Ow, that's hot. All right, time to get the second one. See if we can get this foot on here. There we go. All right. All right. Last little bit of it stuck. There we go. Number two. This really hasn't been too bad so far. I mean, I know I'll probably say that now, and I know, bite me in the butt. What in the world was this going into? I think this one, I don't know, was it just going into sheet metal? And that is destroyed. Alright. Big washer there. Alright. Now, 1/2-inch socket here. See if I can get this off. Feels like it's coming loose. Maybe. Nope. Alright, well, let's try this one then. I'll give these a shot. Well, got that one out. They're all getting stuck in a ratchet too. Ooh, look how eat up that is. That is destroyed. Wow, look at that. Man, you know, it's been sitting out for a long time looking like that. Now I'll just see about these. I just can't get these two to pull through. That one right there, it just spins. There we go. It's coming out now. All right. So I think this one still has the nut on it. I can just feel it back up in there. But kind of going at it blind. All right, I think I'm on it. Yep, I got it. I can't get that one off. Can't get my tools off now either. There we go. Golly, that was stuck. All right. So I got this back half loose. Now, I just need to find what's holding it up front here. Okay, I see. Looks like we have a weld right here. So, I'm gonna have to grab the ankle grinder and clean this up so that this should come loose, because right now, yeah, you can see when I pull it, that back is just free. All right, I gotta grab the grinder for that. Let's get this off. All right, there we have it. Now let's see. All right, that is loose. What is the deal with our back? It looks like, so this, oh. Looks like this tab comes down. I don't know how well you can see it, but it almost looks like that this tab is welded to this bar, and this part of the frame runs the length and probably connects that other back half. So I think I may need to try to grab the grinder and just nick at this a little bit and see if I can get this piece disconnected from this bar right here. So I'm gonna give that a shot. Let's see if this works. That rod right there is the last thing holding us. It goes to the bottom. It goes to the bottom of the fender well down there. So I'm going to unattach that and then we'll be able to pull it off. All right, so we've had some issues trying to get this off. There's the one bolt on the bottom of the fender that has like an old clutch head type. I'll show you that on the inside when we get it off, but we don't really have a screwdriver to fit, so I just tried to grind it off and hopefully it'll come off now. I'm not sure if it will or not. So I just put this nut back on here to hold it up so it doesn't just fall off. Oh, there we go. Got it off. That was a task. So now, so this right here, oh, there was a nut on the top, but we couldn't turn it anyways. So that right there is what was holding it on. And then of course with the head of the bolt underneath on the fender. And then this is the head type. So I don't know how well you can see that, whether it's, I think it's better like that. But it's kind of a bow tie shape, which I guess is right on Chevy branding. So that's what's holding the fender on. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them to get off, and we'll probably just have to grind it off again. So that was a pain, and especially just because the fender was at the bottom, or that bolt was at the bottom of the fender, which is basically on the ground, so we had to jack it up and have jack stands underneath it. But here's our first look at the frame and everything. Not too bad. So now we got to basically do that on the other side. I don't know, the back side of it, that might be off. That bolt might be, or that part of the fender might be rusted off, but it's getting late today, so I'll start on that tomorrow. Well, good morning, everyone. We have a beautiful day ahead of us, and going to start and tackle this left side. There's one. As you can see, these are rusted pretty bad as well. About like the other ones, most of it's gone. All right, there's 2. Alrighty. Alright. We do have one right here that looks like we need to get out. Man. You know, that is a problem with these. These bolts are all so soft. So now dealing with these bolts in here, they are too soft for a wrench. As you can kind of see on this one, I just rounded the sides. The metal just bends. So just gonna have to cut those off with the grinder. So about 2 hours and 2 grinding discs later, I finally got those bolts cut. It was just hard because the wheel well's in the way of the grinder and it couldn't get deep enough, so that was just a pain. But I think we got it ready. Can't get this nut loose right here, so there's just a rod that runs through. And so I got this loose, so this should just pull out all the way if I have enough room over here to even get it out. But I'll at least get the fender off and go from there. So it's been a struggle, but we're here. right, here we are. So I did just bend this rod, but I'm gonna put it back together. I'll be getting a new one anyways. So it just runs through there the whole way. But frame isn't looking too bad over here. We'll want to get this up a little bit higher now that we have better access to everything. Get it up on jack stands a little bit higher, but whew, that was a lot of work. So here it is. The step side right here, that's probably just gonna go. I'll probably put it back without any of the steps, without any of the sides. Don't really know yet. We'll see how it goes back together, honestly. But this part is pretty tore up. It was rusted out to begin with, and then just me cutting at it didn't do it any favors. But not too bad. Looks a lot different with the sides off. Now I'm just going to see about this front. One thing I am concerned with is that this piece right here is basically just welded all the way across. You can see all these welds down the line to get this front piece off. And then this plate is just welded to the frame. So not exactly sure what's going to be going on with that. I'll probably just have to try to cut all those welds off to get this off, and then do that to the frame. Or I might just try to cut these off of the frame. That'll probably be what I'll do. I'll probably just cut these off the frame and get the bed itself off, and then just try to pull this off as one piece. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll see if that happens or not. I don't know. All right, new plan. So it looks like the metal that was the bed is welded to this piece here, which is then welded to the frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cutoff wheel, and you can see this is a clear shot through. So I'm just going to take it to, you know, about right here and just run and cut this off. So after that, we should be able to just cut the welds from the frame and take the front tire off, the spare tire, and pull this piece off. So that's what should happen. We'll give it a shot. So I'm most of the way through this right here, and I had the idea to try to get to the inside. I wanted to cut out this section, so maybe I could get the grinder to that inside weld. So this took me about 45 minutes to do, and you can see what it did to the cutoff wheel. This was a brand new wheel, and it just ate through it, and then tore up a Sawzall blade. But you can see this is straight up 1/4 inch steel plate that they put on here. So this is so thick, and this is really heavy. Look at that. I mean, no wonder it took so long. Oh, this probably weighs, I don't know, 70 pounds. Just this one section. Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. They just put a straight 1/4 inch sheet of steel on the back. But, I mean, it got the job done. Whew. So, maybe now, golly bum. That was tough and thick. Jeez. So maybe now I might be able to get to this and over there. give us a better shot at it anyways. So hopefully I will be able to get that done and not have to do anything else. All right, and here we go. This side was much easier, mainly because I took a better angle on my starting cut with the grinder. So I started higher on the weld, which made it easier. So now we got this off, and we can just try to pull this thing off. With this being, you know, that 1/4 inch steel, this thing is still really heavy. Oh. And this thing weighs probably, oh, and it's got, and this is a, like, basically a angled at the back right here. You can see this. And then that 1/4 inch there. This is probably, I don't know, at least 100 pounds. At least. Oh man. Oh. Oh man, this is heavy. Oh. Whew. Golly. All right, let's go look at the trailer. So yeah, my 2 spots, so I can grind down that weld. And then over on this side, cut into the frame a little bit, but it's not too bad. It's easily fixable. And really, man, this thing's looking pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the last of these sections. So let's go to the other side where you can see. So I'm just going to cut along these rails, each of these rails here. Just cut it down and keep removing sections. So basically I have 2 more big ones to do, and then this last little bit along the bumper. So I'm going to get those out. It'll probably still be, you know, hard because this stuff is still super thick, you know, through the middle of it here. But we'll just take the grinding wheel and get to work on it. And here we are. After a long, hard day of work, we have gotten everything off this trailer. So I did get the right side of it off here yesterday, but that was still a nightmare just because of that back bolt and rod holding the fender. Then got this other side off, which was a pain because I had to cut the bolts in the back. And then got the front off, which was a pain because he had to cut the welds that were holding it to the frame. And then actually went through 7 or 8 cut-off discs today, just cutting, you know, everything from the back, the front rail up here, and then just cutting through this, I mean, 1/4 inch steel plate. Really overkill, but got it done. I was really happy to have Chris here to help for a little bit. Took a little bit of pressure and time off me, let me relax for a little bit, but I am happy where it's at. So we still have a lot of work to do, obviously, as you can see, but at a good point for this video. So it's going to be it for this one. Really going to get into cleaning up these rails here and getting the rest of this metal off of it. And the next one we'll start with that, and then probably start going over taking off the wheels and looking at the axle, see what kind of shape that's in, and really just looking at it in general, just because I want to see how these were built back in, you know, the late 40s, which I think it's from, you know, late 40s. That's the era. Think that is, but it's just interesting to me to see how these would be built. But yeah, so I'm happy where it's at. Hope you're enjoying this. I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding, and I know once we get completely finished with it and put it back together that it'll be all worth it. So stay tuned for part 3 coming up next. But like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you.